So starting in the middle of our mats, ankles crossed, sitting up nice and tall, hands on the knees. We're going to take a deep breath in, roll the shoulders back and lift the chest up towards the ceiling. So you're arching through that upper back. And as you exhale, round the shoulders out, tuck the tailbone, lean it back. Inhale, lift, roll it back, chest opens up. And exhale, round it out. Inhale, lift, roll it back. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift, roll it back. Exhale, round. Two more. Inhale, lift, roll, open the chest. Exhale, round it out. Inhale, lift, roll it back. And exhale, round it out. Coming to center, we're going to stretch the arms out and line the shoulders, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Reach over to the right, hand to the ground, left arm reaches over. Palm turns to face the floor. If you'd like to drop onto the elbow, go right ahead. Otherwise, just using that hand as a support to press the left sit bone into the ground. Pull the arm behind the head so that you're not closing off the face. Shoulders are relaxed and reach out of the rib cage, out of the waist. And then drawing yourself up through center, adjust those shoulders, lengthen the neck and over to the left-hand side. Hand to the ground, in line with the hip. Right hand reaches over, palm turns to face the ground, reaching through those fingertips, keeping the right sit bone connected to the floor. And breathe into that stretch, really lengthening between each rib cage, or between each rib, down the rib cage. And then coming up to center, adjust the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to twist over to the right, place the hand to the outside of the right knee, other hand to the ground with the base of the spine, using your hands for leverage to rotate the body open. It's not just about pulling with the arms, but also about rotating the spine as well. So think about getting your chest to face that right hand side, or even to face behind you. If you turn your head to look over the right shoulder, it can help guide your direction of twist. And release, floating the arms up. Again, adjust the shoulders, really lengthening tall through the crown of the head and over to the left-hand side. Hand to the outside of the knee, other hand to the ground behind you and rotate. Twisting around that spine. And gently releasing, sending the right leg out to the corner of the mat. Flexing the toes towards the face and pressing the knee, back of the knee straight into the ground. Left foot is tucked in nice and tight, hips soft, nice and open. We're going to place the forearm along the shin or on the inside of the leg, slide the hand away and then reach the left arm over towards those toes. Again, stacking those shoulders, always twisting your chest to face the ceiling as you reach over to the side. Breathing down that rib cage, lengthening into that hamstring, into that inner thigh, and swing it up. Extending both arms towards that right leg, squaring off the shoulders so your whole upper torso is twisting. Reach the arms forward, arms are level, and fold towards that leg. If you can grab either side of the foot, fantastic. And release, coming up to center. We're going to take the right hand to the outside of the left knee, left hand behind you, propping yourself up tall, bonus twist. Keeping both sit bones connected to the floor. And release, taking that bent leg, crossing it over the extended leg, sole of the foot to the ground, Wrapping the right arm around the knee, so opposite arm around knee, pulling the knee towards your shoulder. You can have left hand at the ground, on the ground behind you to help you twist. So you're both pulling the knee towards shoulder to get the glute stretch, and you are twisting the spine as well. Try not to collapse back into the shoulder, but you want to use the hand to prop yourself. If you really lock it out, you can get some good traction down the vertebra to help you twist maximally. And release. We're going to drop that knee open, or sort of point the knee towards the front, and taking the bent leg, crossing it over taking the straight leg, crossing it over the bent leg. So you're crossing right foot to the outside of the left knee, and left foot is alongside the hips. If the knee is bent this way. If not, you can just cross the ankles if that's more comfortable. So no real pressure, it's just a little bit of a hip stretch whilst we stretch out the triceps. So we're going to take the left hand, reach it down the back, and then take the right hand to grab the elbow and assist that hand to reach further down the back. So we're basically pressing up the legs whilst we stretch down the triceps into the lats. So right down the outside of the armpit area. And release and swap inside. So right hand reaches, left hand grabs the elbow and pulling it down. And release. And flexing the legs and send the left leg out to the corner of the mat. Taking the left forearm along the top of the shin or on the inside of the leg. Slide the hand away, reaching right arm overhead, using your bottom elbow as leverage to twist the chest open to help you get a really big rainbow arch over towards those toes. Sliding the hands towards the feet, lengthening out of that right hip. And drawing it up, extending both arms towards that left leg, squaring off those shoulders, reach out of the hips and folding forwards. And sliding back upright, taking the left hand to the outside of the right knee, right hand to the ground at the base of the spine, propping yourself upright and rotate. Keeping both sit bones to the ground, so making sure that that left bone is not lifting. Maybe twisting the spine, feel a gentle stretch through the shoulders. And relax. We're going to take that bent leg, crossing it over the extended leg, wrapping the opposite arm around that knee and propping yourself up tall, hand nice and close to the hips. The further back it is, the more rounded you'll probably be in the spine. So the closer you get, the more upright the spine, the more traction and rotation you'll be able to achieve. And release. Opening up the knee and crossing left leg over. Sitting up nice and tall. We're going to interlace the fingers, press the palms away, and then lift the arms up above the head, palms towards the sky. So it's a bit of a balancing act here as well with the legs in this position. So this tighter you squeeze the feet together or inner thighs together, the more you should find your balance, and then really working through just the arms without compensating with the rest of the body. And then stretching the arms out to the side, interlacing the fingers behind you, placing the palms together, roll the shoulders back and lift the chest as you lift the hands away from the hips. So lifting chest, hands extend away from you. and release. We're going to place the knees together and roll on over to your hands and knees for your box position. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to do a couple of cat and camels. So tucking the tailbone around the spine up towards the ceiling and squeeze those hips forward. Chin tucks in, looking towards the belly button. And then exhale, drop the belly down, squeezing into the shoulder blades, open up the chest, chin lifts up. Inhale, lift, round the spine towards the sky. And exhale, drop it down. Number 3. And down. 4. And down. 5. And down. 6. Down. 4 more. 7, really working through the vertebra. And getting a nice stretch maybe across the abdominal region. Down, last 2. Lift. And down, and last one. Squeeze it up through those abs. And then squeeze between those shoulder blades. Coming to a nice neutral spine. We're going to place the weight into the left hand, right arm reaches up to the sky. Threading the needle, reach, 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 rotate. And then stretch it through underneath the left armpit. Inhale, lift, reach, stack the shoulders. And exhale, stretch it through. Inhale, lift, rotate. Exhale, stretch it through. 4, reach it up. And through. 5. And through. 6. Through. Strong through that supporting arm. 7. Through. 8. Through. 9. Through. And last one, we're going to reach up and then stretch all the way through, coming to line your right shoulder and right ear. And then left arm reaches around the back into the small of the lower back. Right arm is your leverage to twist the chest towards the ceiling. Really stacking those shoulders, opening everything up. Placing the left hand in front of the face, pressing yourself back up to seat, back up to kneeling. Right hand underneath the shoulder. Left arm reaches to the sky, thread the needle on the other side. Reach, reach, reach. And rotate, stretch it through. It's all about twisting the spine. So stacking those shoulders, opening the chest as your spine twists open, and then reach it through. Number 2. Inhale, slow and stretchy. And then reach it through. 3. Lift. For 4. Lift. For 5. Lift. For 6. Lift. For 7. Lift. For 8. Last 2. Lift up. For 9. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then last one, lift, rotate. And last one, reaches all the way through, comes to line on left shoulder, left ear. You can keep the right hand in front of the face, or you can float it up and around into the small of the lower back, which helps you to stack those shoulders, twisting the chest to face the ceiling, to get more of a rotation through that spine. Placing the hand in front of the face, propping yourself back up to a box. We're going to tuck the toes and lift the hips up to a downward facing dog. Untucking that tailbone, slowly sinking those heels down to the ground. Chin tucks in so your neck is nice and neutral. Straight spine, straight arms, straight legs. Heels sinking towards the floor, getting a nice stretch through those calves. We're going to lift up onto our toes and we're going to drop forward to a hovering box position or your bear. So knees drop towards the ground, shoulders move over the wrists. And then lift the hips up, press back, downward facing dog. Lifting up onto your toes, shift forward, shoulders over wrists, knees to hover in your bear, number 2. And press back, downward facing dog. Lift up, roll forward, hover 3. And press it back. Sink the heels, arms pressed overhead. Rock it forwards, knees to hover, shoulders over wrists, neck is lengthened, and back. And then one more, we're going to hold. So lift up onto those toes, drop the knees towards the ground, just above the floor. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it back up, downward facing dog. Walking the toes together to the center of the mat, we're going to open up the knees to the outside edge of the mat. Unflip the toes, sink the bum back into your extended child's pose. Arms are reaching out ahead of you, bum is pulling back towards the heels, neck is relaxed, head to the ground. And feel those shoulder blades spreading apart. Your tummy melts between your thighs. Walking the hands over to the left-hand side, tummy to the left thigh, arms stretching away. Sort of a 10 to 10 position. Feel the stretch down the right armpit into that left, into the rib cage. And then over to the right-hand side, a 10 past 2. Hips continue to pull back towards the heels, arms stretching in the opposite direction. Pulling away from you. And then walking the hands back to the middle. Gently lifting up those hips, tucking the toes. We're going to lift up to downward facing dog, sinking the heels down. Feet are hip distance apart, dropping out of those shoulders as the arms press overhead. We're going to lift the right leg up to the sky. Just point the toes up towards the ceiling. And we're going to draw 5 circles with those toes right out of the hip. 5 in one direction, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change directions, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it lifted. Lift up onto your left toe. Shift forwards into your plank. Drop the back knee down to the ground and unflip those toes. So that right leg is still hovering parallel to the ground. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Adjust if you need to. Left arm reaches up alongside the ear. In our bird dog hold. Let's rotate the palm towards the center, thumb towards the ceiling. And let's flex that right foot down. Getting a bit of a workout through that right glute. We tap right toes, left fingers down to the ground, and lift. Tap down, and lift. 2, down, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Keep it hovering. Bend that right leg, reach the left hand around to grab the ankle, and then lift the heel away from above, arching through the back. Strong supported through the right hand. And then slowly release the hand to the floor, extend that right leg, flex the foot. We're going to cross the leg over to the left hand side of the body. Tucking the toes, lifting the knee away from the floor, and then twisting to look over that left shoulder. Lift the heel up, draw it back to the middle, and we're going to point those right toes and reach the foot out in line with the left knee, and walk yourself up to kneeling. So we have, let me just twist so you can see from the side. Left foot is standing directly behind the knee, right leg is stretched out. Body is ideally straight above the supporting knee. We're going to place the right hand sliding it down towards the foot and then reach the left arm over. So you want to make sure that you're not falling forward and your bum is not sticking out. So squeeze the bum forward, bending through the side of the body and reaching the arm overhead towards that leg, towards that foot. Big side bend, stretching through that left waist across the left hip, and maybe into the right inner thigh and hamstring if that's where it's quite tight. We're going to float back up to center using the obliques, placing the left hand down in line with the left hip. So again, I'll twist so you can see, hand down in line with left knee, and then right arm's going to reach over. So the right leg is still extended, and we're still balancing on the left leg. We're just getting a stretch to the other side. Again, making sure your bum's not sticking back, but squeeze those hips forward so your hips are stacked directly above the knee. And then using that right hand to draw you up, squeezing into that right oblique all the way up to center. And then placing the knees together on the ground, hands in the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Sinking the heels down, stretching out the calves, stretching out the hammies, arms are pressing overhead. Left toes point up towards the ceiling. We're going to do our 5 circles in each direction. So we go 5. Imagine there's a paintbrush on the tip of your big toe. 4, 3, working out of that left hip socket. 2, and 1. Change direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift up onto your right toe. Shift forward to your plank and then drop the right knee down to the ground. Unflip the toes, shoulders over wrists, make adjustments if you need to. No open hips, but square off the hips, tucking the tailbone, flexing that left foot, and then lifting the right thumb up towards the sky for your bird dog. As we lower the leg to the ground, when you lift it up, be sure to lift from that glute fold. So pinky finger and toes down to the ground, gentle tap, and lift. 1, tap, and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and hold. Bend that left leg, reach the right hand around, grab the ankle, and then lift the heel away from the bum. Holding it there, stretching across the left hip flexor. Nice arch through the back. A bit of a stretch through the right shoulder and bicep. And then gently placing the hand down on the ground, flex or lengthen the leg, flex the toes, cross over to the right hand side of the body, tuck the toes, push the knees straight, and then twist to look over the right shoulder. Lift the heel to parallel, floating through the center, and then continue extending so that left knee is in, left foot is in line with the right knee, and lifting the body up. Placing the left hand down the shin, reaching the right arm over towards that foot, squeezing your bum forward so you're not sitting into those hips. And reach the hands down towards that foot. Try not to close off the face. And then floating up through the center. Placing the right hand down in line with the right knee. Left arm reaches over. Palm towards the ground to really give you that rainbow effect of folding towards the floor. Stretching over the entire left side of the body. Hips are squeezed forwards, just double check. And then using that left oblique to swing you up. So working into those waist muscles up to center. Bring the knees together. Then hands under the shoulders. Knees are under the hips once more. Tucking the toes, lifting the knees, lifting the hips, down facing down. Sinking the heels down, arms pressed overhead, tummy is tucked, and tailbone untucks towards the sky. Keeping the arms extended and the chest pressing backwards, we're going to lift up onto our toes and then drop the knees down, keeping the hips over the knees on the floor, and stretch the arms forward into your puppy pose. Keeping the elbows connected, we're going to slide forward to lie on our tummies, hands under the shoulders. Inhale, lift the chest away from the ground. Squeezing the hands, squeezing the shoulder blades together, tucking the chin in so the neck is nice and neutral. And release. We're going to stretch the right arm out in line with the right shoulder. Left hand places alongside the body. Left leg lifts up, roll over, place the left foot behind the right thigh, and draw that left knee up towards the ceiling, rotating the spine and coming to really press and lie on that right shoulder. So we're getting a stretch across the right shoulder, front of the shoulder, and a nice twist through the back, and maybe a bit of a stretch through the hips as well. Rolling back onto your tummy, leg comes down, left arm extends in line with the shoulder, right hand places alongside the body, right leg lifts up as high as you can, roll onto the right, up onto the left shoulder, and place this right foot behind the left thigh. The right hand can either assist you by pressing, or it can be fairly relaxed, whatever helps you get the best stretch across that left shoulder, or through the twisting of the spine. And release, coming to lie on your tummy. Left hand crosses underneath the chest, getting a gentle back bend through the upper portion of the back. Then bend the right leg, reach around with the right hand, grab the ankle and press the heel alongside the hips. Ideally, you'd like that elbow pointing up towards the ceiling with that shoulder rolled open, so you get a bonus stretch across the right shoulder or right pec. And it also gives you a really nice pressing leverage as opposed to a pulling one, where in the pressing kind of motion, it's more of a lockout situation as opposed to having to be super strong if you're really tight. And release the foot down, right arm crosses underneath the chest, left leg bends. Reach around with the left hand to grab the ankle and press the heel alongside the body. If you do feel like you're taking strain in your lower back, I'm going to push the hips in towards the floor, which will also increase the stretch in the thigh and hip flexors. So if you feel like you're not getting enough of a stretch, you're going to push the pelvis into the ground for that as well. Releasing the hand, releasing the foot, hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, push the hips back towards the heels, stretching out the arms. And then lifting the hips up to downward facing dog. Arms pressed overhead. Right leg lifts up towards the ceiling. We're going to lift up onto our left toes, bring your right knee in towards the chest and step the foot at the front of the mat. So foot steps between the hands, press up through the right leg, reach the arms up into your high lunge. Pulling the body away from that front thigh as you sink into those hips. Arms pull behind the ears to activate into the upper back. Right knee is open above the ankle and not conking inwards. Shoulders are down away from the ears. Tummy is tight to increase the stretch over the left hip flexor. So we're not collapsing with the hip flexor, we're pulling away from that thigh. Folding forwards, placing left hand underneath left shoulder, right arm reaches towards the ceiling. So it's the right foot that's at the front and the right arm that's reaching up. So we twist it towards that front leg or towards the right hand side of the mat. Releasing the hand, folding forwards, we're going to drop the back knee to the ground, unflip the toes, reach the arms up as you sink the pelvis down into your low lunge this time. Palms are turned in, shoulders down away from the ears, tummies engaged. Do not collapse through the lower back. And then folding forwards, one hand either side of that front leg. We're going to straighten the right knee, pulling the hips back over the left knee. Knee presses straight, toes are pointed towards the floor, and then we straighten out the spine as much as comfortable to get a really intense stretch through the right hamstring. Shifting the weight forwards, one hand either side of the front foot, tuck the toes of the back leg, lift the knee, and then gentle steps so that both legs can straighten out. So it's not a big step like with the lunge, but a little step forward, so we get both feet flat, and then straightening out that right leg. If you need to lift the hands up to chin, that's also fine, but the goal here is just to get a nice stretch to the hamstring with both knees nice and straight. So if you're down and the knees bent, rather lift the hands so you can straighten the legs. You don't need to hyperextend the knees if they basically go backwards. A soft bend will help protect them if you feel like you're taking strain through the knees. And then you are going to bend that right leg, place the hands on the ground in front of you, try and connect the palms to the floor, and then lift the left leg up, but we're going for standing splits instead of warrior three this time. So you want to lift the leg up, up, up as high as you can, pointing the toes towards the ceiling, and think about, for today's session, you can rotate the hips as much as you need to, and it's not just about floating up by folding, but you have to actively lift through that left bum to get the leg to float higher. So challenge that pelvic position, challenge the activation through the legs. If that supporting leg is bent, that's all right. No pressure on the supporting leg, but let's work on lifting the left leg up as high as we can get it. And then we are going to bend the left leg, bend the right leg, drop the left toes to the ground, hands to the floor. We're going to step back to plank. Shoulders are over the wrists. Tailbone is tucked so there's no arching through the lower back. We're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees down, lower knees, chin and chest, and then we press up for cobra. Roll the shoulders back, chest opens up. Deep breath into your stretch. Feel the stretch across the front side of your tummy. And then tuck the toes, push the hips back to the heels, stretching out the arms. And then lift the hips up to downward facing dog. Left leg lifts up towards the ceiling. Lifting up onto your right toes, bring your left knee in towards your chest and step the foot at the front of the mat. Reach the arms up into your high lunge. So left knee is bent directly above the left ankle. Palms are turned in, shoulders are down. Tailbone tucked and sink it low for your high lunge. Pulling your tummy away from the front of thigh, or away from both thighs really. Releasing the hands to the ground, right hand underneath right shoulder, left arm reaches towards the ceiling. So we're twisting towards that bent front leg. And it's a spinal twist, not just the arms seeing how far they can go by themselves, but really rotating the entire torso. Releasing the left hand down to the ground, dropping the back knee and flipping the toes, and then reach the arms up for your low lunge. Sinking the pelvis towards the ground, palms are turned in, pull the arms back behind the ears, and drop them down away from the ears as well. So you're lengthening through the neck. Getting a good stretch through the right hip flexor and the left glute. Folding forward, one hand either side of the front leg. We pull the hips back over the right knee, straightening out the left leg, toes are pointed. We extend the spine to fold forward to that leg. Shifting the hands forward so we can tuck the toes of the back leg, lift the knee, and gentle step so we can straighten out both legs. So we're square onto that front leg. You don't want to be rotating the body, but rather both hands at sort of a level stretch towards the ground. Again, you need to lift the hands up on that shin so you can get more of a straightened spine. To increase that hamstring stretch, that's fine. Then we're going to bend that left leg. Hands connect to the ground just in front for support, and then right leg lifts up, up, up as high as you can get it. As you fold forwards, the leg lifts even higher, but remember it's that glute, that hip, that slight rotation helping you to lift the leg a little higher. Perhaps you'd even like to balance with one hand, grab the supporting ankle with the other to help you fold that a little bit further forward, which helps you float the leg a little bit higher. But really playing around with it. Seeing what works, seeing what helps you get better range. Our body is a kinetic chain, so maybe you've maxed out on the link at the hip, but you haven't maxed out in your pelvic forward fold. And then we're going to slowly release the foot down to the ground, feet together in a forward fold. Tucking the chin in to look towards those legs. We're going to tuck the tailbone and roll your way up one vertebra at a time, all the way to standing, and roll the shoulders back. Finding your way to the center of the mat. On your bunk, we're going to lean back for your Navasana, your boat pose. So as soon as you're ready, arms extended, straightening out the spine, roll the shoulders back, leaning back, lift one leg, lift the other leg, shins parallel to the ground. Squeezing the knees together, we're going to straighten out those legs and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees, placing the feet on the ground, tuck the tailbone. We roll down one vertebra at a time, reaching the arms overhead, taking a deep breath in, and as you exhale, reach forward and roll up. Full extension of the spine, arms above the head. Reach forward, tuck tailbone, roll down. And overhead. Number 2. Exhale, reach forward. And full extension all the way up. Tuck tailbone, roll down. 3, complete. 2 more. Reach forward and all the way up. And tuck tailbone, roll down, reach over and forwards and all the way up. And then placing the hands behind the back on the ground. So we're going to walk the hands as far away from you as you can get them. Fingers are pointing towards the back of the mat. Wrists are pointing more towards your bum or body. And then we're going to use the feet to lift the bum and scoot the bum towards the feet. So you're getting a stretch across the front of the shoulders. So you want to get your back as low to the ground as you can. The tighter your shoulders, the more difficult you'll find this. Ideally, elbows are straight, but if you are finding a bit of strain in the shoulders, you can bend them backwards a little bit. And even this stretch should be good for stretching out the shoulders, without putting too much strain into the elbow joints themselves. And then move the bum back, straightening out the legs, lifting the body. We're going to fold forwards towards those extended legs. Mostly to give the arms a break. And then lifting up, place the hands behind you for support. You're going to cross the right ankle onto the left knee, like your standing figure four, or just, I suppose, your normal figure four. So that right knee drops open. You're going to bring the left foot towards you, and then scoot your bum as close to the heel as you can get it, and then walk the hands to get the chest towards the shin. So you're really folding in half to get a great glute stretch through the right glute. So it's right ankle on left knee and left foot is still connected to the ground, getting a stretch to the right glute. And release, sending that leg out ahead of you. Right leg extends, left ankle crosses over right knee. Bring the right foot close to your bum and then slide your bum towards the foot and walk your hands closer to the body to help your body get nice and upright, chest towards the shin. And release the feet down. Extending the legs, extending the arms, tuck tailbone, and roll down one vertebra at a time, all the way onto your back. We're going to bring the right knee in towards the chest, give it a big squeeze. The more you push your left leg away, the more you'll feel a stretch across the left hip flexor. Stretching your right arm along the ground, left hand to the outside of the right knee, and cross the knee over the body, making sure the right shoulder stays connected to the floor. And it's a spinal twist, as well as being quite a nice stretch across that outer right hip or bum. Whichever one's tightest will tend to stretch first. Drawing the knee back up to center, straightening out the right leg. Left knee comes in, interlace the fingers, squeeze the knee towards you. And then stretch the left arm along the ground, right hand to the outside of the knee, cross the knee over the body. Keeping both shoulders connected to the floor as you rotate that spine, really twisting the entire pelvis, rotating over to the right hand side. And then drawing it back up to center, placing the feet on the ground, adjusting the lower back. We're going to shift the feet to the outside edges of the mat, heels as close to your bum as you can get them. And then we take both knees over to the right hand side. Right foot places on top of left knee, both knees pull towards the floor, and then you're going to tighten the tummy so that the lower back flattens towards the ground as well. To get a good stretch over the left hip flexor, maybe right down that left thigh. Release the foot, lift the knees up, adjust the lower back, feet to the outside edges of the mat. We take both knees over to the left-hand side, Left foot places on top of right knee, pulling both knees towards the floor, tightening the tummy to get the lower back flat to the ground. If you'd like to extend your arms out to the sides, that's totally fine. Whatever helps you get a better stretch across that right hip flexor, right thigh, maybe even into the waist. Totally up to you. Releasing the foot, lift the knees up. We're going to bring the right knee in towards the chest, left leg to sky. Rock the toes over the face and hoist all the way up. Crossing your ankles to the front of the mat. We're going to fold forward, stretching those arms out ahead of you, relaxing the head so the neck is neutral. Walking the hands over to the right-hand side. And feel how it changes the stretch through the hips. And over to the left-hand side. Walking through the middle and back upright. Other ankle crosses to the front. Folding forwards, final stretches. Neck relaxed. Walk over to the right. And over to the left. Walk it back to middle. And all the way up. Thank you for joining me on this chilly morning. I really, really appreciate everybody's time and efforts.